Before we begin, I'm gonna need to apologize for the gameplay, like in the background of this video. Usually, this video is gonna be more designed for just listening and not really watching. But like, I stopped playing Destiny for my Xbox 360 back in like 2015, so I have no gameplay of it. So it's probably just gonna be Overwatch or Rocket League. I fucking suck at those games, so just bear with me, okay? What it is, people, Nova Ducks here. Today, we're going to be talking about the failure that will be Destiny 2. From what we've seen, it is not a new game and is merely a DLC for Destiny 1, despite what they will tell you. Sure, that and some more planets, clan support, and new subclasses, but no one cares. Look, I wanted to love this game, to be hyped for it, just like I was hyped for Destiny 1, but this game is going to be more the bullshit that was Destiny 1. The number one problem I had when Bungie and Activision first started hyping this game is that we were going to be playing the same subclasses that we had for the past 3 years. Not even all of them. We don't get to play the bow dude. We don't get to play the electric. I don't even remember their names. I haven't played in a while. But we're not even going to get to play them. We have to play the same ones from the friggin' beta of Destiny 1. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, they reworked the classes. They're going to be so different. But even the ones that they added, the three more that they added, play exactly the same as subclasses from Destiny 1. Wait, here, I'll explain it to you. The Striker Titan. It plays exactly the same as the one that they reworked, but now you can knee the enemy and you can run around while you smash people. Okay? Golden Gun is literally the same thing, except you can get a perk that gives you 6 bullets. It's literally the same thing. It's the same gun. It's still solar. You still have that stupid throwing knife. You still get the same shitty grenades. It's literally the same thing. They're reselling you that. The new Arc Hunter class is basically going to be like the original Arc Strider, the one with the pole. Like, I don't see how they can make it any different. It looks exactly the same, but now you get, you do it like you flip around like you're killing enemy. I don't see how it could be any different. The Solar Warlock class with the sword, the one that they showed off, is exactly the same as Hammer's Soul. It just seems like less overpowered. Now you gotta like wave a sword or something. It's the same thing. It plays exactly the same. I know it might look a little different, but it's still even solar. Like, it's not gonna play any differently. Now the new Titan class, I'll give them credit for that. It it is kind of different. The one, the Captain America, you throw your shield, but it's a new class, it's a new subclass, but it plays exactly the same as that one arc sword from the Taken King. I think the exotic one. Forgot what it's called, but just like the arc sword, the Captain America class, it throws like a little disc. That's exactly what the arc sword does, but the Captain America, like, it bounces back the arc sword into that. So it's basically the same thing, just a little overpowered, and it can also block. So could the arc sword. It's the same thing. They just stole it. The final class, what I presume to be the Voidwalker, because there's 2 arcs and 2 solars, and both of the rework class for the original classes, and the Voidwalker was the original, what do you call it, Warlock. So I think that they're just gonna have a Voidwalker. It's just gonna be able to shoot multiple the Void Blasts. It's just gonna be exactly the same. It's gonna be like the Striker Titan, but a Voidwalker. Now, I know what you're gonna say. Maybe they're keeping more subclasses under wraps, and that I wish they were doing that. But this is Bungie and Activision. If they had more classes, they would be hyping them. Okay, we've already seen all 6 subclasses. We haven't really seen the Voidwalker, but there's only gonna be 6 subclasses. Okay, and 3 of them are exactly the same, and all 6 of them play exactly the same as subclasses or mechanics from Destiny 1. It's like they're not even trying to hide it. Now, another thing that they just copied, just blatantly copied from the base game, they have no new classes or races. Because, like, if they were gonna have new races or even classes, they would have showed it off by now, but they don't. So they haven't showed anything off, which they would have to generate hype, but they haven't. Which, like, if they added like a new class or two, I'd be fine with them remaking the original things, because I'd be getting 4 new subclasses if they added 2 classes, but they aren't because they're lazy. They know they can get away with adding the same subclasses. Now, races, you don't really see your race anyways. You always got what do you call it, a helmet on, but Like, it's not the biggest deal, but it would have been a nice touch, Where am I? They also, another thing I didn't really like is how they didn't add any new elements. Like, it's not really a big problem because elements don't really play anything in the game, but, shield damage, and I think, like, super damage or something in PvP or, I don't know. But it would have been refreshing, to get, like, a new one, like a Frost, or like a Dark Energy, or like a Taken Energy even. That would have been cool. Now, for the guns. This is one of the things that I hated the most because, like, subclasses, they don't really change anything. Like, I show your grenades and such, and you get a super every minute, but really the only thing that changes is the guns. Now, based on what we've seen, and I think we've seen basically everything that has to do with the guns, they're only going to be adding new gun types. Two new gun types. Grenade launchers and SMGs. But let's be honest here, SMGs are basically the fast-firing auto rifles from Destiny 1, so I don't really count it as new. And it's a real shame because, as I said, shooting guns is the only thing that is different in Destiny 2. It's literally the only thing that you do. Wait, I don't see how they couldn't have made more guns. Like, they could have added, like, let's see here, like a new sniper type gun, like the Queenbreaker's bow. They could have turned that into a whole class. They could have added, like, magical wands that, like, shoot space magic. That would have been cool. Like, you actually get to infuse your light into your weapons. They could have added, like, a whole new class of weapons called, like, stolen weapons that are enemy weapons, like the hive boomers or the fallen ones that shoot stuff. I don't know. They could have added like dual swords. They could have added anything, but they're just so lazy and incompetent that they only managed to add two new weapon types. Like, that's horrible. Two new? That's just atrocious. Okay. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves about Destiny 2, and just just shows off their blatant laziness and incompetence, is that they have no new enemies, and the story is also gonna be shit. Like, I'll explain it. So, for the enemies, there will be no new enemies in Destiny 2, which is a shame because most of the game is just fighting AI enemies. That's all you do. Like, I've only killed like 100. I can't. Well, I can't. It's that stupid servitor on the Devil's Lair. I don't even remember. I've killed it so many times. Like, I know this could have screwed up the story, but let's be real. Destiny doesn't have a story. Friggin' Infinite Warfare has a better story than this Frankenstein that was Destiny 1, okay? I haven't even played it. That's how bad Destiny's story was. The enemies in Destiny 2 won't have many new sub-enemies either. Now, what I mean by that is, like, for the whole Vex, you have, like, Minotaurs and Goblins and what have you. But in Destiny 2, the only, like, we saw that Vex strike, but I didn't see any new, like, I didn't see any new sub enemies. Like, all I saw were goblins and hobgoblins and minotaurs, a few harpies. I didn't see anything. The only new enemies I've seen are those Cabal guys that have the swords and the Cabal, those stupid dog things. Okay, like the only really new one are those dogs because the sword guys they just gave a Cabal model. They just put swords in it, and now it's a melee dude. Okay, it's not really that new. Okay. Another thing about Destiny 2, it's only gonna have 4 planets, just like Destiny 1, which I'm fine with, okay? Like, they added the same number of planets as Destiny 2, and they're all new. And if they're really revamping the open world like they say they will, like, I don't really have a problem with that. But this lack of new gameplay variety and content continues. It will severely hamper my enjoyment of Destiny 2 and probably other Destiny 2 players. Like, unless you're a new person who's never played Destiny 1 or played very, very little, like, you're not going to enjoy this game. It's just more of the same. Like, it's literally more of the same. You don't get any new subclass, you don't get any new guns. It is literally more of the same. Okay, I will not be purchasing Destiny 2 until I see lots of gameplay of it, and I'm probably not going to pre-order it because I pre-ordered Destiny 1 and look how that turned out. So I might just pre-order it, play the beta on the Xbox One, and then just cancel it because screw Bungie, fuck them, alright? Just steal their money. Now, in this part of the video, the final part, I'm just going to be going over some speculation on why Destiny 2 is so similar to Destiny 1. First, Destiny 1 had a Vex, Hive, and Fallen raid, and, Taken or whatever. So the only race they are missing is the Cabal. And as many of you knew, when Bungie totally changed the story a year before launch, they also cut out lots of content, including a few raids that they then resold as DLC. Like, we could glitch into the House of Wolves and the Dark Below content, but in the beta, like, we could do that before the game even released, before the DLC is released, and there was even gameplay of the Dreadnought, the Oryx's ship. There was gameplay of Oryx's ship in a trailer for Destiny 1, like for the base game. That's like that just what do you call it? It just baffles my brain. I don't even know what it's called. Wait, misadvertisement, misadvertisement, false advertisement. Yeah, sorry. Like it just baffles my brain so much. Now, what I think they did is they also cut out a Cabal DLC, or maybe even more content from the base game, and they just turned it, like, instead of reselling it as DLC for Destiny 1, they knew that they couldn't have a space in it. Like, it doesn't have a space in Destiny 1. They already filled it up. So they just turned it into the whole storyline for Destiny 2. That would explain why Destiny 2 is all about the Cabal, not really about all the other enemies, races, like Destiny 1. But, like, Destiny 1 didn't even have a story, so I I'm not gonna really call it for that. Like, you could have argued it was about the Vex. You know, they had a raid for it. Like, but didn't really have a main enemy that was like of any race. But Destiny 2 is gonna have it's gonna be all about the Cabal, and maybe they just turn this Cabal DLC into the whole of Destiny 2, its whole storyline. And if this is true, then Destiny 2 really is just DLC, and it's not gonna be the new game like you wanted, which really sucks because I was looking forward to Destiny 2. Okay, guys, now I'm just gonna wrap up this video because I have nothing else to say. As someone who followed this game since in game I mean Destiny 1 since like June 2014, like 6 months before it came out. I can't remember because it's almost 3 years. And I also spent $140 on it, which is a real rip off because other players got it for $60. But that's what you pay. But for me and other players like me, Destiny 2 is a slap in my fucking face. I will not be buying this game unless somehow it has amazing gunplay and a lot of content. Which if it is made by Bungie, which made Destiny 1, it probably will not. Like, how much was that of that game was just replaying content, okay? The whole friggin' game, Nightfalls are replaying content, raids are basically replaying content. Like, you're just gonna be replaying content in Destiny 2 too, okay? Like, it's just so it like I feel betrayed by Bungie that they would do this. Like, I felt betrayed in Destiny 1, and now I feel betrayed in Destiny 2 that they're literally reselling me exactly the same things as was in Destiny 1. Fuck Bungie and fuck Activision. Dovatalk signing out.